This store, 3.5 months. What's the total revenue right now, roughly?
Just shy of 300,000.
And that's about 150,000 of profit?
A bit less than that. It's say 120 over 3 months.
Just over $120,000 in profit. Hello and welcome to Success Stories. Today I'm with Damon Lovell. In fact, this is Austin Lovell's uncle, and I'm sure you all know Austin. How are you feeling today, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really good, really good. My name's Will Schmar, so I'm one of the co-founders here at Freedom Club. A bit of an intro into Success Stories. I mean, the name does explain it all. I travel around Australia and interview Freedom Club's successful students. So it's an absolute privilege hearing their stories, talking about their results. Speaking of results, I'll give you a little teaser. So Damon is right now about to have his biggest month ever. Mate, you were just saying you're on, did you say 90K revenue so far, was it?
All up.
What's this month so far revenue?
This month at the moment is on 90.
Okay, so right now, it's not the end of the month, 90K revenue. The projection is 120K revenue,
Correct.
And he sits on about a 40% margin. So if things go to plan, the month will be a total of what profit roughly?
Just shy of 50.
Just shy of 50. Okay, $50,000 profit for a month is just insane. Anyway, we'll get back to that soon. Let's start with getting to know you.
Sure.
I myself personally am so curious about you. So I know I said it earlier, Damon is Austin's uncle. Austin is one of my best mates. He's one of the co-founders at Freedom Club. This is the first time I'm meeting one of his family members. You're 58 years old, 57 when you got into e-com and finding all this success. So mate, let's actually start. Let's go back to even just schooling. There's a reason I'm asking for schooling. So yeah, what did you do in school? What school did you go to?
I went to Mowbray High, which is a local school in Adelaide here. Mowbray South, Mowbray High. I finished year 11 at high school. When I first started high school, throughout school, I was very into my hands. I was very into art, tech studies, building stuff, doing, arty, crafty stuff. High school, I pretty much knew what I wanted to do, and that was to be a sign writer. So
that's rare to know what you want to do in high school.
Yeah, it was in year 8.
Good on you.
I started night classes at Gillis Plains, our TAFE college here at the day in year 8.
So you were in school and you were doing extra study?
Correct. So first year of high school, I started night classes for sign writing. So I'd done 3 years of night classes. Then throughout year 11, put the feelers out, looking for, with the help of my father at the time, sending back then written hand letters to all the businesses around town.
Yeah.
Sign shops and that, looking for apprenticeships, because back then apprenticeships was the go.
I'm pausing you for a reason. So year 11, okay, you're already looking for work yourself.
I knew I didn't want to do year 12. There was no year 12 in mind for me. I wanted to get out there, do what I've been training to do and start earning money.
Okay, already see similarities with Austin, honestly, because I can just see the work ethic and drive. So yeah, keep going, mate.
So put out the letters and was lucky enough to pick up some work experience with a mob. And towards the end of year 11, they said, look, we're keen with what you've done. If you want, prepared to put you on a trial for 6 months, which they did. So that following year, did 6 months work for them, and then they offered me a full-time apprenticeship. Okay. Good thing was, because I'd done those 3 years at night class, when I started my apprenticeship, they put me straight into year 2.
Okay, so that actually accounted for that time went into the apprenticeship time.
Not that we knew it at the time, but the board looked at the history and what I'd done and what I'd already learnt.
So it's just a bit of luck, a blessing.
So I was fully qualified by 19.
Fully qualified by 19. So year 11, when you started this, did you actually leave school?
Yeah.
So technically...
end of year 11.
Okay, so technically, I mean, you dropped out of high school technically. You didn't finish high school.
I finished year 11.
So, and this is sign writing, right?
Yep.
All
Back in the day, it was brushwork and paint.
All by hand.
All by hand.
Now I imagine, I don't know much about it, but now I imagine it's all machines.
100%.
So started with your hands.
Yep.
All right, so you're 19, you're fully qualified, that's got to be breaking some records. So then what did you do after that?
Stayed where I was for another few years. And then he was an older guy. So he'd been in trade for a long time, and his son came in, took over the business, and the dynamics of the business changed. And it was probably 18 months after that. So I might have been maybe 21, 20, something like that.
So when you say the dynamics, you just didn't get along with the son as much?
Not as much. I mean, it was fun enough, but
wasn't the same.
I couldn't see any movement forward.
I've just a quick question on that. This is probably a little bit off topic. I think this happens a lot when a father gives a business to his son and the son has to almost like obtain the respect of the other workers, and it can really...
He did struggle with that. The father was old school and I gelled more better with him.
Yeah. So you're an old school guy?
Well, I am now.
Okay.
Back then, I just gelled with the father more, I guess. I saw him more as a mentor. The son came in, I saw him a little cocky, didn't earn the position because he didn't grow up in the trade. So, we just lost that little bit of touch with the business, and I didn't see a movement forward for me.
Okay.
So I just put the feelers out to see what else is around. And funny enough, found a job down the road here at Edwardstown with a mob called Regal Display.
When you say down the road, how close are we talking?
10 minutes.
Crazy. Okay.
Well, Adelaide's quite small.
Right.
You could drive from one end to the other in half an hour.
Actually, on that, this is actually my first time ever in Adelaide. I looked on the map. It's just this little square. Is it?
We're getting bigger, but
Okay.
it's not quite as big as the eastern states. So anyway, I ended up down there, and they had a much wider scope of what they were doing at the time. They were doing a lot more manufacturing into illuminated and neon signage.
Okay.
Whereas before I was just doing primarily brushwork. So I started with them. And I was probably with them for maybe 7 years, I think.
So, mate, just some context. This is in 19 something, right?
Wow. This is so I would have been, when I started with them, 21. So 67, 88.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, just for any of the young people listening, we're literally talking about 1988 right now. So, that's interesting in itself.
The olden days.
Yeah, the olden days.
They own all their own manufacturing. So they were welding, plastic work, woodwork, sheet metal work, all that sort of thing. So I learned all these other trades in the period of time that I was there.
Okay.
All of these components that go into building a sign.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So you literally just just 4x your portfolio of
Pretty
what
much,
you could do with your hand. Yeah.
I think it was around the age of maybe 27, 28. I was put in a role of 2IC. So I pretty much had control of all the boys on the floor. I got to a point in my career where I was like, you know what? I'm putting all this effort in, all this time. I was on salary. I was on good money for back in the day. I think it was like $50 an hour. So
that's massive for back then.
For back then, it was
huge.
Good. It was good money. Yeah. But I was required to do the hours when I needed to.
How many hours were you working a week back then?
Probably 60 to 70 on call. If there was issues on installs and stuff, I was dragged out to that on weekends and all this sort of gear.
So not only were you working a massive amount of time, but you probably couldn't really relax.
No. So I was putting in a lot of effort, a lot of time for somebody else.
Yeah.
And straight away it was like, I need to be doing this for me.
I see that. And then just quickly, at this time, are you married?
Yeah, I'd gotten married in the last year or two. So I'd been with my partner at the time for maybe 9 years.
Okay.
And I think the last couple of years with them is when I got married.
I'm loving your work story. Through this work story, don't be afraid to connect me with the family journey too, because I'm curious.
So the writing was on the wall. I'm putting in so much effort somebody else. I could be putting this amount of effort in for me and reaping the benefits because I could see the benefits he was getting. Anyway, so then I went out on my own. So I started my own sign shop with a partner at the time.
Before you started on your own, I know that you were almost, I guess, fed up in a way because you said you were bumping heads or clashing with this.
Well, we were clashing. He couldn't let go.
Okay.
So he was giving me full control, but then couldn't let go himself.
Okay. Well, I mean, that just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You went out on your own, but that's something that can't be said lightly because going out on your own takes a lot of courage.
And I remember talking to my dad at the time.
Was he supportive of you?
100%.
Good man.
100%. And I remember going to him and saying, look, this is where I'm at. I had a mate, acquaintance at the time. He was interested in starting something on his own as well. Had no background in the sign game.
Yeah.
But had a very good background in sales.
Well, yeah, you can do the work and he can acquire the customers.
Yeah.
I mean,
so anyway, I sat down with Dad one night and said, look, this is where I'm at. This is what we're thinking. He took one look at me and said, son, you've got the skill. If it doesn't work, you can easily get a job with somebody else again. It's not like you'll never get a job again. Give it a crack.
Great logic.
I reckon I was 28, 29 when I went out on my own, and I've been out on my own ever since.
Okay, so now you have your own sign writing business to this day.
That developed as well. So that grew. So not only did we started out in signage and we were doing all the big stuff, all the big pylon signs that you see out the front of service stations, all the big illuminated stuff, the big building signs on top of the sky risers in the city.
Okay.
The name rights and all that sort of stuff for buildings. We're doing all of that.
Well, but I've got a question for you then. Why the heck did you get into e-commerce?
Well, e-commerce has come way, way down the track. This sign game it developed. So the signage led into a lot of other stuff. So we're doing a lot for Westfields, which then involved a lot more carpentry, a lot more joinery and all that sort of stuff.
Would you do that in-house or would you get contractors?
I refused to do a lot of stuff out of house. It was, if we're going to do it, I want to be able to do it.
Wow.
So we set ourselves up to do joinery. We're doing shop fronts. We're doing 2-pack spray painting, all the signage. We're doing a lot more.
And was that translating financially for you as well?
Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
And then I got an opportunity to put a contract towards SA Lotteries as well to do all their fit outs, the commercial fit outs, because we got into shop fitting basically.
The shop fitting basically handles the whole process.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So from signage now to shop fitting, that's a massive, because there's so many things that go between that.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Now a lot of the trades in that we were contracting out. So like Spark, we did have an in-house Sparky. At one point I had like 15 guys, I think, working for me. There was a time where I got to a point, probably the first 6 years of starting business on my own, trying for a family. And so we struggled with that for quite a while. And then
That would have been tough.
it was at the time. And I was like under pumped. Like it was 15 guys I'm looking after, you know, working big hours, trying for a family, all the rest of it.
I'm already seeing how just the qualities that you have as a man have translated into ecom, but
It definitely has helped.
Yeah.
It definitely has helped.
So you'd be working extremely, extremely hard, managing 15 people. Then I imagine because of what you're going through with your wife, the home environment probably wasn't too...
Home environment was good. We were very supportive of each other. We ended up going down the track of IVF. Both times for my son and my daughter was both successful. So we're very grateful for that.
Wow.
So yeah, very grateful for that. But I remember that period of time, you know, it's stressful. So I got to a point, it was like, you know what, this is all getting too hard. So I started weaning back. I started scaling back basically. Yeah. And I got to a point where it was just sort of me and maybe 2 or 3 key personnel, and it was a lot easier to handle.
How can you make a decision to scale back financially though? Like how do you...
I was making more money scaling back. Yeah, the overheads was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, 15 guys with staff, bigger premises, more vehicles, like, you know, your overheads build up. Your ability to output doesn't always go in line with that. Do you know what I mean? There is no middle ground with business.
Yeah.
I found you're either small or you're really big. And we were in that middle. Right. And I didn't want to go to that next step of 20, 30 guys. I thought, no, I'm going to go back smaller and make more.
So it's like, cool, you could have gone bigger. Maybe you would have made more. Like you said, you're in the middle ground. So you could have gone to the higher ground and made more, but then would you have been enjoying your life as much? And then in that case, who really cares about the more money?
Exactly. Well, it wasn't more money. At the end of the day, I was making more money for me.
Yeah, when you were smaller.
Making less money overall, but more in my pocket.
So once you were smaller, you had a team, would you say 3 guys?
The smallest was probably me and 2.
You and 2.
And my wife was still doing all the bookwork and stuff. So she was always part of the business. And that lasted for a little while. And then, you know what, to be honest, it was just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to go out and do my own thing. I had a little workshop and had all my plant equipment still. So I started doing kitchens because I love joinery.
Yeah.
You know? So I got out of the sign. I still did a bit of signage for local builders that I did work for regularly.
Yeah.
They'd always come to me and say, we need something. So I'd always assist and help them. But I primarily got into kitchens. That sort of went into doing a bit of home renovations as well.
So now you're into home renovations. Now, what I'm gathering is you've just got an absolute wealth of experience in a lot of things.
I've done a lot of things.
You've done a lot. What I'm not hearing is there's not a lot of like online business experience so far, right?
Not yet. So I did it by myself, probably from, let's say, maybe mid-40s to early 50s. So maybe 6-7 years.
You were doing the
home renovating,
yeah,
on my own. So I was doing it by myself, and then I'd have contractors that if I need to, do blushing, gyp rocking, doing whatever. But I was happy doing my own thing, my own time frame.
So you're happy?
I was happier and less stressed doing, although it was more physical work for me.
But which you enjoy?
Yes. I totally enjoyed more getting up in the morning and not having, Christ, I've got to be there because he's going to be there and I've got to make sure he's doing that and I've got to make sure he's doing that. I just had to worry about me. I've been self-employed for a long time anyway, so I'm in that my own boss scenario anyway, but not to have to worry about and logistically work out where everyone's going to be with other guys was refreshing.
Massive relief.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And then I think it was probably mid 54. I'm starting to sort of feel the few aches and pains and, you know, because I'm doing a lot of manual work and I'm thinking I need another avenue of income. One day I'm not going to be able to do all this. One day I'm not going to have the ability to be doing 80-hour weeks and lifting this and doing that. And all
sad but true. I mean,
it is. I mean, I still enjoy doing it, but I could feel the body was starting to get
you seem strong and fit, mate.
I am. But I knew that
it was
not going to be an ever thing. And do I really want to do it forever? You know, around 54, I was starting to look at, okay, I would like to make some money online.
Yeah.
Okay. And I started to look at what opportunities there were in the online space.
Okay. So even I just think it's so interesting being at 54 going, I need to make money online.
Another flip.
Because that's a massive flip. And even just like for most people, like even young people, making money online is either a scam, it's either too good to be true.
When I started looking, obviously it was prior to COVID.
Yeah.
So it was in that sort of period where
people started to.
Yeah. And it was all, everything that was online was like, make money fast, quick fix. It was like, do this, you're going to be a millionaire. And it was a lot of opportunities to try, but very few that looked long-term or legit. It was all a bit make money quick fix sort of schemes, if that makes sense.
So at this stage, just to connect with the story, your nephew, Austin, okay?
At this point in time, I think he was still at Foot Locker.
Okay.
All right.
So you were looking into online business before Austin was even...
He was probably Foot Locker transitioning to the video editing.
Yeah.
That period of time.
And you were already looking into it. Now, is there any connection with Austin? No. This is amazing.
Completely two paths.
Is there any way, shape or form that he even got into online stuff because of you? Or
no.
It's okay. This is completely...
He didn't know what I was doing because when I told him, he was a bit shocked as well.
This is hilarious.
I know.
Okay. So you're both getting into online business at a similar time, except he's like 17, 18 or whatever, and you're 54.
Correct.
Neither of you are talking to each other about it.
No. So the first path I decided to try and tackle, I was very good at graphic design because with my game, with the signage and that, I was very FA with Photoshop and Illustrator and all
so
these.
So branding your suite then?
100%.
Yeah.
Graphic design, all of that sort of thing, even building websites. I thought I'd give the world of blogging a try, which is all based around SEO. Okay, so it wasn't paid ads at the time.
Yeah, so it's all organic.
It's all organic.
Yeah.
Well, we did do a little bit of Google ads, but the Facebook ads thing wasn't really a thing at this time.
True. Okay.
Okay. So that involved WordPress site, writing blogs, trying to get the SEO part of it. So the blogs would become organic and then you'd have links within the blogs that would be associated with certain products that the blog was about. So mine was in the home space niche, like home lifestyle. And that was hard work. I gave that probably 12 months.
12 months. Okay. So you're 54 to 55.
Yeah.
And you, did you get any real financial gain from this?
None whatsoever.
Did you learn anything at least?
I made sales, but I also had, back then we didn't have free ChatGPT and stuff like this. We had article writers.
Yeah. So you actually had to hire them and
we had spinners that would get someone else's article and you put it through the spinner or reword it to yours and it would add all these keywords in. It was a lot of hard work.
Okay. But you did have your first, technically you got a sale online.
It was almost like a drop shipping style, but you're doing it through a blog. They'd get the order and then fulfill it on your behalf. So you weren't doing any of the holding of stock or anything like that.
Okay. So I'm wondering, so after 12 months of blogging, and this is also your first attempt at like online business because you knew that you couldn't work with your body anymore, or at least,
I wanted a way out.
You wanted a way out. How come after 12 months of blogging, you didn't go, F this? Like, I'm not doing anything online. Because it wasn't a great experience, right?
No, I just thought, well, that's not working for me. I need something else.
Okay, but you didn't give up on the online thing?
No.
Okay.
No, then I went to YouTube ads.
So YouTube ads, but already it's like straight away, there's something in there that's key is like...
I knew I'd make something work online.
You knew you would make something work online.
Yep.
You had to.
Yep.
Cool.
That was my out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on the tools until I was 60.
Yeah.
65.
So you had no plan B. You had to make this work.
There's always a plan B. I mean, blogging was plan A. So then, what's plan B? So I'm looking for plan B.
Yeah.
Which at the time was YouTube ads.
Okay.
There was a guy, you've probably heard of him, Chris Reader.
Yeah.
He started a YouTube ad online thing.
Yeah.
So I got involved with that and got quite deep into that. Made a few sales on that. Again, it was sort of around similar sort of process to blogging, but you're using the YouTube ad now.
Yeah, instead of just
paid advertising.
Yeah.
To get the return. So I'll probably broke even on that one. I was making sales.
Yeah.
But not to they were very good at selling it back then.
Timeline wise, so this is 55, you do it. How long were you in YouTube ads? So what year is this?
53, 54 was blogging.
Blogging, yeah.
Probably the year after that was the YouTube ad side of it.
And this is post-COVID now.
This is still post-COVID.
Yeah.
Quickly worked out, well, this is not working. I'm putting so much time into making these YouTube ads and stuff, and we didn't have any of the AI things back then. But I was very afraid with Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and all that sort of thing. So I was making all my own ads. Didn't quite get into the mindset of the buyer at that stage. It was none of that. It was just get an ad out there, and if it works, you sort of like hoping that it's going to click. Then I come across, because I was always looking, I watch YouTube for TV. I don't watch free to air.
Okay.
I hate ads. So I won't sit and watch unless it's a really good program. I won't commit to the ads.
Okay.
So I'm on paid YouTube subscription and I watch whatever comes up on YouTube.
Okay, so you're a big YouTube guy. Your nephew Austin also loves browsing YouTube. So we've got some hereditary things there, some genetic.
At this point in time, still had no idea what Austin's plans were. Never spoke to Austin about any of this. Still not.
And did you know what he was doing?
No. I knew he was doing his video editing and a little bit like that. So yeah, Austin had no idea. At this point, I had no idea what he was doing. But throughout watching YouTube, I then come across one of Davey Fogarty's videos.
Okay.
In the early part.
Yeah, Davey's great.
Yeah,
very respected in our space.
He is good. Got a lot of time for Davey and was really keen because this is at his start he'd already done well with the hoodie.
Yeah. Okay.
And then started putting some videos out as to how to replicate what he's doing.
Yeah. Daily Mentor maybe, or that hadn't launched yet?
Hadn't launched yet.
Okay.
No, this is prior to that.
Yeah.
And he had about an hour-long video that he put on YouTube as to how to do drop shipping.
Yeah. That free. Yeah. I know the exact video you're talking about.
That's the one that transitioned me from doing YouTube ads
to e-commerce drop shipping.
To e-commerce,
From
right?
Davey's 1 hour video. Okay.
And his train of thought then was to do fully like branded, find a product that's already doing well and make it better.
Yeah.
So I was going down that path, and I actually got to a point where I hadn't made a sale yet. I just went full in.
Yeah.
Bullet a gate.
Yeah.
Built a whole shop. Found a product. It was actually one of his products that he had done.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'm going to go use his
I'm going to make his better.
advice, and I'm going to try and make his better. Right. Which I did. I got involved with China, got prototypes made of this particular product.
Yeah.
Got it all to the point where it was like, I'm ready to go. But then as I'm sort of getting it to that stage, I'm looking at it going, wow, I'm going to have to carry a lot of stock for this and all that side of it, because his model wasn't the drop ship model.
Yeah. So it's huge financial risk.
It is.
Yeah.
Which, at that point in time, I was prepared to take.
Yeah. You're in that, but you're in a position to do that.
Yeah. And so this was like based around what he did with the hoodie, but with a different product.
Yeah.
And then I think it was around that time, I must have started mentioning this to Austin.
So finally now, you and Austin are talking about e-commerce.
Because I'd heard talking to his dad at one point in time, or one of his sisters, might have been Jordan or someone like that. And I was like, what is it he's actually doing now? Because I'd heard that he is selling stuff online. And it's like, well, that's not video. Anyway, so we got chatting about that.
So all of a sudden you guys are like, Austin's like, oh yeah, I'm in e-commerce
starting to come together.
And you're like, oh, well, I just did an e-commerce dropshipping store myself.
We were at a family dinner.
Yeah.
Out at a pub, and we met at home first. And I said, Austin, I want to have a chat to you tonight. I need to know what you do. We got talking, and I started telling him what I had done. And he was like, oh my God, Uncle Damon, I had no idea. Are you serious? You're doing online. Yeah. Going, well, yeah, well, I wouldn't say I'm doing, but I've been attempting to do. Yeah. Right.
Mate, this is awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
And I said to him, so what are you doing? And he's basically outlined your, setup. And he said, well, I said, where are you getting all your stuff from? He goes, from eBay. Because I thought it might have been, Alibaba or one of those. He goes, no,
whatever, or
no, it's through eBay. I'm going, wow, okay, well, I need to know a bit more about this. Anyway, got him back to home, and I had some of the prototypes of what I'd done and made, and brought them all out. And I said, well, this is where I've got. Yeah. Showed him the store that I'd built. It was a Shopify store that I had built for this particular product.
So you're already familiar with Shopify, because it was WordPress.
Wasn't live or anything. Okay. So it was just in draft stage, and I was building it out. Showed him the product, and he's going, wow, okay, I can't believe, Uncle Damon, you just blow my mind. Yeah. I can't believe you're actually at this point. So anyway, he explained his way of doing it, and I reckon it was about, I let that soak in for about a month or two after, and I thought, you know what, I think his method is going to be a lot easier to start with because I haven't got the outlay. So I put what I was working on at the time on hold, and I reached out to him. I said, okay, mate, I said, I want to join your club.
I want to jump in here for a sec, mate, because, and first of all, I loved that you joined the club. This is cool. Wouldn't have met you probably. Actually, no, I would have, because so close with Austin, I'm sure one
Eventually. Yeah. I wanted to be a part of what he was doing. I really liked the community he was building.
Well, there's two things here already. So the first thing is like, a big reason you came towards, the Freedom Club method is, you don't have to have a big outlay, right? And this is what people get confused about drop shipping is just logistics. All it means is you don't actually have to warehouse or buy a big volume of product. Once someone makes the purchase to you, you then purchase the product and then you send the product. But as far as the e-commerce itself, the rest of the brand, it's just like any other business, any other,
100%.
It's just logistically different. Yep. So people think drop shipping, but it's like, it's just logistics. Yep. There is, so many aspects to an online business. And the good thing about drop shipping is you can test your brand, see if you're actually good at marketing, see if you're onto something without risking 10, 20, 30 grand. In fact, you almost risk nothing because you don't have to buy the product. So that's why it's so attractive. And that's also why people find success in it, because if you think about it, when you start a normal business, okay, you don't just quit when the going gets tough because you find a lease, you get product, you hire staff. There is such a commitment. Correct. You can't just go, oh, you know what, crap, I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to try something else. You can't do that. No. You're probably locked into a contract for however long. Drop shipping, you invest such a small amount of time and money. If it doesn't work out, you can literally go, shut the door, try something new. Correct. The thing is a lot of people don't get success straight away but they do if they keep trying.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point that out because that's, anyway, such a big thing. But then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, which is really interesting. You as a man, you always wanted to focus on quality, on the customer.
Mm-hmm.
And your biggest thing, like one of the biggest things that I've picked up as you were talking is you didn't advertise when you were younger. All your customers came back from either word of mouth or talking to their family or whatever. That's because you actually believed in delivering a good service and giving value to the customer. And what we do, it's literally called the customer first brand model, where we prioritize the customer. So eBay Australia, for example, quick shipping times, high quality products where again, customers return.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just some typical drop shipping store. You're actually building something that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
Customers come back. I think at one stage, one of the highest customer return rates we have or customer retention was 50%.
Mm.
So just to explain that, when you spend money to acquire a customer, you acquire that customer, cool, you work out your profit. If that person comes back to your store and buys again, you've spent zero on ads, zero to acquire that customer. And that's why when you focus on the customer, you can scale and grow your brand. So just wanted to bring that up. So now you're in the Freedom Club. You really liked what Austin, myself, and Josh were doing with the community.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Well, and I also like the fact that it had that balance of risk, like you said.
Yeah, the balance of risk.
You're not having to, my time costs nothing effectively. And I was prepared to put as much time as it was needed into it to make it work. Store that I was planning on doing initially prior to this would have taken a fair bit of financial risk to put forward. And if it didn't work, well, what do you do with all the stock you've just, you can't buy 5 from China and hold on to it and then sell because it's just not going to work. You've got to buy enough to warrant the shipping to cover orders if it does do well.
Yeah.
So it's a big financial outlay.
Now, I even have friends in the industry who've got a massive volume of orders, okay? Sold half of them, had huge success, thinking they're absolutely killing it. Store didn't work out. They're still holding 50% stock.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, what I liked about your model was that you're developing a brand.
Yeah.
You're not just throwing some crap that's going viral up on the store and then hoping the best out of 6 months and then looking for the next viral thing. You're developing a brand, and that balance of risk for me at the time was, well, you know what, I'm going to put everything else on hold. I'll jump in on board with you boys and told Austin, he goes, yep, be glad to have you, Uncle Damon. And then jumped in and started doing the calls and getting involved. And I remember the very first call with Chris actually, and I'd had a site built at that stage. And this is back when he was doing the live calls and you'd have one-on-ones, sort of you'd jump on a call with him and the site come up and he was like, oh, wow, geez, who's this dude? And he's like really going, liked the site at the time. Didn't call myself Uncle Damon at the time, but I said, I'm Austin's uncle. And he goes, oh, wow, okay. Well, clearly the apple doesn't fall far from the tree or something like that, he said. Can't remember exactly, but got involved with that and developed my first store.
Did you have success with your first store? How many stores did it take?
I did, much to Austin's disgust at the time. I sort of did veer away a little bit from his
exact methods.
His exact method.
Yeah.
I went a little bit more general. So I developed a store and then tried when one product didn't work and then tried another and then I tried another and I had a mix match of products, which clearly looking back now wasn't the way to go.
You got to listen to Austin, mate. Come on.
More of a general store.
Yeah.
So I focused down on a niche. So my first store, which a lot of them are aware of now, what I did have some success with that.
Yeah.
But it was hard work because I had to convince people to purchase rather than them wanting to purchase.
Yeah, rather than the product just sort of sells itself.
Correct. So I chose a niche in the bedding, in sleep. My partner now has fibromyalgia. So she suffers with chronic fatigue and stuff like that, bad night's sleeping and all this sort of thing. So I found a mattress topper which we tested with her that she got relief from and she'd used in the past.
So you could actually emotionally connect with the product you were selling because you had the problem in your life.
Correct.
So that,
we were living with it. And so we focused down onto people that were suffering from fibromyalgia. Yeah. And we marketed this mattress topper to assist them with their sleep and try and get better sleep, and which did well. Obviously, out of Australia, I sort of really narrowed down. I mean, there's only a bit over 100,000, bit over 1 million people in Australia that have fibro.
That exact condition, So, I've cut my market down less than 10% of Australia. Yeah. For starters. And it was a hard
gig to sell because I had to convince them that they needed it and why. So the marketing side of it was harder.
If you have to say, pick one of your biggest challenges, while starting and, progressing through e-commerce, what would it be? Like pretend there's someone who's watching that is struggling or maybe they haven't even started yet. What was your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge, I think, was finding the right product. Even to today, I think out of everything you guys teach, the product is the key.
What would be your advice to someone to help them find a product?
To be open, not to get too set into a certain niche, not to get too set into something that you know too much about. I mean, if you know about the product itself, then better, but if not, learn about it, because the product itself is what's going to do the selling. At the end of the day, it's got to have demand. It's got to have that little bit of wow factor, and it's definitely got to solve a problem. And if you can get all of that right, then everything else, I feel, will fall into place.
Okay.
The product's key, and you'll know quick, I think, whether that product's going to take off or not. And if it's not, then you got to be prepared to pivot, jump off that product and go to something
Be prepared to pivot.
Correct.
Just in your journey, I mean, you're showing so many signs of not giving up. I feel like the people who fail in e-com or anything in life, they give up.
It's definitely not a quick fix. I mean, look, there's been several students that have hit the nail on the head from the get-go and they've done really well, but there's been a lot that haven't.
So, mate, what would you say to not only you're a 58-year-old gentleman who's most of his life...
It's very polite. Thank you.
I try my best to be polite. Well, you're polite yourself. Why wouldn't I be? So you're a 58-year-old gentleman. You've worked with your hands your whole life. What would you say to someone who was, someone that was a similar age or had worked in a similar profession and they're like, you know what, I just can't do this. This is too different to what I'm used to. What would you say to encourage that person, that man or woman for that matter?
I would say that the online space is not just for the young ones. We can all do it, and it's not too late. Give it a crack. I mean, if you're looking for something that is going to be a supplement income or you want to continue it on until you're 80, because with ecom you can. There's no age limit. I can set this up and have it automated now for the next 15, 20 years and just keep working on it. Age is not a barrier for me anymore. Where with the building side of it, age was becoming a barrier.
I mean, mate, I'm very happy for you and excited for you. So now you're going to have spare time to, what are you going to be doing with your spare time now?
Building new stores.
Yeah. So you're just passionate about it now.
100%. I have put so much time and I breathe a bit like Chris Evers. I breathe ecom now. Yeah. Even with the store that I'm doing now, continuing to look for how I can improve the product, bring more products in and just better the service for the customer. Yeah. I'm just looking at involving now.
Okay, mate. So
evolving, I should say.
Well, I just want to quickly go back into your results because we mentioned it at the start.
Yeah.
Right. So can you recall the best day, like the best revenue day or profit day that you've had so far in this?
Today?
Well, just in general, like since you've started.
Well, this particular store started July 1 this year. So it's only been going over 3.5 months.
Okay. And this store, 3.5 months, what's the total revenue right now, roughly?
Just shy of 300,000.
Just shy of 300,000 since July. And and that's about 150,000 of profit?
A bit less than that. It's say 120.
120 in profit. How many months is that? You say July?
Just over 3 months.
Just over $120,000 in profit. So that's already in 3 months earning what most people earn in 2 years, unfortunately. Not saying that out of cockiness or arrogance, but that's the truth. Most people struggle to earn 100 grand a year. So that's just incredible. What was like your best week?
Best week so far, it would probably be around, I think, just shy of 35 grand. 34 something.
It's crazy. And how much of that was profit, mate?
About 13 grand.
13 grand. Yeah. It's just insane.
I know, it is crazy numbers. Now, with previous store, I was never doing numbers like that. I did do well with the previous store, but not to that level. It was, this is the one that I've been looking for. And to be honest with you, it's probably, I have gone a little bit diverse with this one too, whereas, this is my own product, not a product from a supplier. So
mate, you've just told me about your results, which are just absolutely insane. I know there's a lot of sticky beaks right now who are very curious about exactly what you're doing with your e-com store. Mate, without giving out too much away, because I know people like to copy. Yeah, what are you doing currently with e-commerce?
So with my current store, I've taken what you guys teach and my background in signage and my building background. And rather than sourcing the product from an agent or from eBay, I decided to create my own product.
Wow.
So
I'm
making my own product, doing my own fulfillment, but everything else is pretty much the same. So that, I think, has made me stand out from the crowd. I'm also the founder of the business. So the company is me.
Yeah.
I answer and reply to every single email and message from me. I'm in my ads. So the business, I am the brand. That's where my store's at now.
Okay. So mate, if you had to give people watching one piece of advice in regards to e-commerce, what would that advice be?
If you believe your product and you want people to buy it, stand behind it.
Okay.
And get in front of the camera and sell it.
Well, mate, I just wanted to say thank you so much. The effort that you've gone to come chat with me today.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yeah. Again, I was just so excited to chat with you, Bean.
Yeah.
It's like, Austin's my business partner. This is his uncle, 57 years old when he got into e-com, and he's literally making money that people would dream of making. And like, it's just straight up. I'm actually really proud of you. I think it's very inspiring to do that, considering that you've worked with your hands your whole life. And I bet that any people that are lucky enough to watch this, you're going to help a lot of people, mate. Even if it's one person who watches this and goes, you know what, I can do this. You've just changed someone's life. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the opportunity. I would like to thank you guys as well for allowing me to be a part of your club and to grow like I have. A special big thanks to Austin, because he was the one that did look at my previous store. And as much as I was battering that one to try and make it work, he said, Uncle Damon, you need to cut this and start again and pivot, which I did. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for his advice at the time. And that would be my biggest advice if, someone's getting stuck or they feel like it's not working, be prepared to pivot. Yeah. Start again.
Oh, thank you, mate. And look, whether you join the Freedom Club or join some sort of other info education platform, the point is like, it's difficult to do this on your own. So if you can ask people that have the experience, it could mean whether you fail or succeed. So there we go. And again, thank you, Austin, as well, because you're a legend and I love you, bro. All right, mate.
Well, love you too, Austin.
Yeah, there we go. He's getting a lot of love. So thank you everyone for listening. And we'll see you in the next episode.
See you all.